Take two. How's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at one of the more versatile lights available on the market, the Aputure LS60x. It's fairly compact, it's powerful, and honestly it punches way above its weight class. Let's get into it. For those of you nerds out there, we're going to throw all the specs on the screen right now and we're going to run through them really quickly. This is the Aputure LS60x bicolor light. It is a Fresnel style focusing LED light. It offers color temperatures ranging from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. It allows you to adjust the beam angle from a 15-degree compact spotlight all the way out to a 45-degree floodlight. It can run on AC mains power or battery power. It does feature an internal fan for active cooling. The light is IP54 weather resistant. It's got a proprietary front mount for accessories, but they do include a Bones mount adapter in the box. And of course, it's got 9 built-in lighting effects. All right, now let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's first look at build quality. So I've got the light itself here. We've got a full aluminum exterior casing, really solid, really sturdy. It also includes this fully aluminum yoke for allowing to mount on light stands, and that gives you full 360-degree adjustability. The only part of this light that is not aluminum is that back control panel. Hard plastic with plastic knobs, but not fragile at all. You don't have to worry about breaking that at all. And then also this front bulb area. It's like a hard, I think it's maybe a glass plastic hybrid, but there's definitely glass in there. But it's thick. You can feel it. You don't have to worry about that shattering. When traveling, it's probably a good idea just to throw barn doors over the front, just to make sure you don't catch it with keys or a screwdriver or anything. But overall, incredibly well built. Another nice thing about the external shell being fully aluminum is the entire thing acts as a heat sink. So combine that with the fact that it has an internal fan and you never have to worry about this overheating. Overall, really well built. You can travel with this, throw it around, throw it in the trunk, throw it in like a Pelican case. You don't have to worry about babying this. It's gonna survive pretty much anything you put it through. And if you're using it professionally, that's really important. Now let's talk about the light itself. So like I said, this is a 60-watt light, the LS60X. The X at the end is referring to this being a bicolor light. So they do sell this as a daylight color light. And they might sell an RGB version. I'm not 100% sure. I know Aputure sells RGB versions of their other lights. This one in particular is a bicolor light. So color temperature can be adjusted from 2700 Kelvin, a very, very warm light, all the way up to 6500 Kelvin, which is nice, cool blue. So the flexibility that you get there is really nice. I would personally spring for the bicolor light over the daylight light, unless you have a very specific need for just that daylight color. The light quality itself is really good. Soft edges, no harsh hot spots. Even when you have it fully at the flood setting, it disperses the light really well, and it's just a really smooth, pleasing light to look at. And like I said, this is a Fresnel style light, so that's part of why the body is a little bit bigger for a 60-watt light. That just means that there's a little dial on the back, which allows you to adjust the light from full spotlight, which is about 15-degree beam angle shape of the light, all the way to a 45-degree floodlight, which spreads the light out quite a bit. Not quite as bright that way, but it allows you to light a much bigger area. The ability to shape the light is really, really nice, and it does a fantastic job of that. If you want even more control and the ability to shape the light even more, this is compatible with the Aputure Spotlight Mini Zoom, which is effectively just another Fresnel attachment that you'll mount onto the front of this. It almost doubles the light in size, but it'll just give you the ability to shape the light a little bit further, give it some more zoom, make it more of a spotlight, if you will, which will make the 60-watt light appear even brighter. Now, my single favorite thing about this light is the ability to power it on batteries. There's no built-in battery or anything like that, but if you do have a V-mount style battery or Sony NPF style batteries, really conveniently, the V-mount, you can just clip right in there, and then you don't have to worry about having a wall outlet for this. So if you're shooting events, if you're shooting outdoors, anything like that, where the set's a little bit weird, you don't have a lot of control over power, the ability to use this with the battery is so freaking handy. Like I said, that battery just clips onto the yoke here. No additional purchase required for that. If you're using the Sony NPF style batteries, they do include a battery plate for that, which again just clips onto that V-mount. Then there's a locking connector to connect to the D-tap battery cable. Plug that in, and this is literally your whole setup minus the light stand. You can actually carry it around and use the light portably like this. It is just so handy. I shoot mainly weddings and we'll use this mostly for the reception. So the ability to place this in between guest tables, place it in the middle of the reception hall, place it in random corners where there's no outlets is so handy. And then also, if there are scenes that we want to shoot where I don't want to deal with moving the light stand, I can have my second shooter hold this. Like if they're cutting the cake, for example, set it all the way to the floodlight, and he can literally light this scene for me with just this, and it is fantastic. The battery I have on here is the Small Rig 155 watt-hour V-mount battery, I believe. It'll power this light at 100% for right around 2 hours. If you are going to use the Sony NPF style batteries, one battery will give you 50% power out of the light, or up to 50% power. You will need 2 Sony NPF style batteries to get the full 100% power out of the light. And obviously your battery life will change depending on the size of the battery that you use. The nice thing though is that the light itself on the control panel actually reads the size and voltage of the battery to give you your remaining battery life. So depending on the intensity that you have the light set to, it'll tell you your remaining battery life down to the minute. I have fully drained that V-mount battery, and it'll tell you you've got 5 minutes remaining, and it is quite accurate. So great job there, Aputure. And if you've used an Aputure or Amaran light in the past, you know that it will be compatible with their Sidus Link app. I don't know where they got that name. This is just Aputure's app that allows you to remotely control your lights, allows you to do Bluetooth firmware updates, and gives you some additional features without having to dig through the little LCD screen menu on there. Overall, I've had a great experience with the app, minus a couple of hiccups, but we'll talk about those later. First, some of the most important functionality that you get out of the app is, like I said, the ability to control the lights wirelessly and from a distance. So if you have it all the way up on a light stand, you don't want to bring it back down to make your small adjustments, just pull out the app. Really easy to control it. If you've got it mounted on a wall, mounted on the ceiling, tucked in a really inconvenient place, that is so handy to be able to control the lights wirelessly. But I love that they kept the physical controls. I feel like there's a lot of companies now going with just a remote or just an app because you can control it wirelessly, and they just force you to do that. I love that they allow you to control it physically as well. Some of the control that you have on the app is you can control the light intensity, you can control that color temperature, and those are pretty much the 2 main things on the screen, which I think is great. They left all the fluff and all the stuff that you're going to use less in separate menus. Digging into the menus a little bit more, you also have the ability to control those lighting effects like I talked about. So strobes, lightning, fireworks, welding, all that kind of different stuff. They have a whole bunch of funky effects in there. You can also upload a music file and allow the light to react to that, which is kind of nuts. And then you can also point your phone camera at an existing light and it'll find the color temperature of that light and match your Aputure light to that light color temperature. So color matching, super handy so that you don't have lights competing against each other at different color temperatures. And then one other feature in the app that is just fantastic is if you have multiple Aputure or Amaran lights, they can talk to each other. You can pair them up in the app, group them up, and control them together. So changing the intensity and changing the color temperature together so that you only have to do it once, and so that everything matches. And that works between Aputure and Amaran lights. So I have an Amaran 200X up here, I have an Aputure 60X back here, and they're talking to each other both in the app. I can control them simultaneously, which is fantastic. Like I said, I have had a couple of small issues with the app. When I first got the 60X this year, when I would go and connect to the lights, there's an initial pairing process, which is fine, just takes a minute or two, really easy. When you leave range of the light or turn the light off and then turn it back on, your phone will have to reconnect to the light. You don't have to go through that initial pairing process, but there's just a little waiting period to reconnect, maybe 15 or 20 seconds. I find myself at weddings connecting to the light and setting my phone down on a guest table because I don't want to lock it and stick it in my pocket, because the next time I pull it out, it's going to have to reconnect to the light again. So that's a little bit inconvenient. I don't want to be standing there waiting for the light to connect so that I can control it. I want to pull my phone out and I want to control it immediately. A little bit annoying that there is that waiting period. It's possible that's been fixed in a firmware update, but when I went to update the firmware on these lights right before the video, I'd get about 15 to 20% in and it would give me an error and I couldn't get it to work on either of these lights. And I don't know if that's because I'm connected to battery instead of a wall outlet, but it didn't say that. So that's just another one of those things where there are some small bugs here that mess with things a little bit, but the functionality that it provides you is really, really convenient. And you can tell that they are making improvements over time, especially with all these new lights that they're releasing. They have a lot of new technology coming out and they're doing a great job in that. Now, based on everything I've said, I personally feel like these lights fit in one specific niche really well, and that is for event work. The ability to have the Fresnel adjustment in light so that you can control the beam of the light and change it from spotlight to floodlight provides a lot of flexibility that some other lights don't have. But being that this is a 60-watt light, it's not going to be a key light for an interview. I mean, you can use it that way, but when you attach the softbox, it's just not bright enough, which is why I'm using my Amaran 200X up there as the key light for this. The Aputure 60X does function okay as like a fill light, or I'm using it as a rim light here. Does a good job there, but if you need to connect it to a softbox, 60 watts just isn't quite enough power. But I think the ability to control it with the battery, the fact that it's not too heavy, the Fresnel style light, all just makes it perfect for events, run and gun lighting. Overall, it's just incredibly flexible. One other thing I totally forgot to mention, Aputure includes a really nice carrying case in the box. I don't know for sure if they do this with all their lights. I know the Amaran 200XS that I bought came in just like a cardboard box, but this has a really nice padded carrying case with different slots for each individual item. It's a shoulder bag, and these are all Velcro slots the same way a camera bag would be, so you can pull out and rearrange each individual little slot. So I got a Pelican case, an off-brand Pelican case with the same fabric internals to carry 2 of these lights and all the accessories, so I don't use these bags, but super flexible. I can literally use this for any other piece of camera equipment that I want. You could throw a full built camera rig in here and just carry it around like that. Great quality, Aputure, well done for including that. Now, like I mentioned before, Amaran, which is Aputure, they did just release their Amaran Ray 60-watt light, which is a really small and compact light. They also have a 120-watt light that's really small and compact and can be battery powered. So I'd be really curious to compare those. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can't get my hands on one of those, if that's something that you guys would like to see, just to see how 2 very different 60-watt lights compare to each other. If you guys would be interested in seeing that, shoot me a comment down below and let me know. Otherwise, if you have any other video ideas, let me know. But thanks a lot for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and we will see you in the next one.